Good morning. I first want to say thank you so much to everybody who's been responding to the other videos. It's been incredibly helpful to watch these videos and the responses and to be able to get some feedback that I could use on my case study as well. I am being brought in as a facilitator to a conflict that's happening between the Department of Transportation and a contractor in the engineering division in California. And what I originally diagnosed as a process conflict is actually becoming very clear that it's an interpersonal and intrapersonal conflict between the project manager on the construction team and the Department of Transportation. And where it appears to be stemming from is that the contractor is looking to make changes to the plans and specs on this project as he goes, and making those changes based on bonus and based on price versus based on the project efficiency. My job is to make sure that these jobs are brought in on time, on budget, and to make sure that they are safe and they are brought in with a project first focus from the contractor and the Department of Transportation. And so I'm going to switch my train of thought and I'm going to switch my questions in order to really capture the issue and in order to make sure that we pull the personalities out, we pull the cultural differences out, and we pull the language barriers out of the mix. And we really focus in on process and task. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to start by asking the contractor, what does it mean to you to request a change? What does it mean to the project to request a change in this case? And I want to hear the response so that I can go on to tell me about the request for change. I want you to show me, from an engineering point of view, the changes you're requesting so that everybody's on the same page. How will these changes benefit the project? Is there a preferential method of communication you'd like from the designer or the structures rep? And the reason I want to ask this question is that when they have conversation, it tends to break down very quickly. If they're in person and we have masks on, the communication is very muffled and it's not going well. If they are on the phone, the designer's language barrier has made it very difficult to understand. I find myself asking over and over for him to repeat it and slow down a bit so that we can understand. And I know that it's frustrating to the contractor. So I want to make sure that we're on a level playing field, perhaps in writing, and by email or by letter is going to be better for this situation. I also want to know what would happen if the answer is no. How will that affect the project? I know how it's going to affect the contractor. I want to know how it will affect the project if this change does not happen so that we can come to terms and collaborate and also compromise on what the change might be. I want to know what would you need from them to accept the decision as a final no. What's happened in the past is that the conflict has escalated and gone to a claim which requires a dispute resolution board. There becomes some avoidance and some lack of communication and some distancing from the design team and the structures rep. That's not healthy for a project. We need everybody in the mix. We need this team to work together. It is a multi-million-dollar project and it's going for 2-3 years. So the team environment is critical. I want to also then next go into what am I hearing? What I'm hearing is, and then summarize the issue. So not just each piece at a time, but also summarize the entire process so that I'm sure I'm on the same page. I'm sure that the Department of Transportation has the same view and the contractor has the same view. And should there be anything missing in translation, we can clear it up right then. And then from there, I'd like them to come to agreement that how these decisions are made, a hard yes and a hard no, means that we move on and that the project can then move on to the next stage. I look forward to your feedback. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.